fresh off her latest win in the UFC. We got Gillian the Savage Robertson joining us here today, who kicked things off for the Ultimate Fighter Season 26 finale with a bang and a submission in the first round. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling absolutely on top of the world. This is everything I could dream of, just getting to the UFC, being able to achieve this, and being able to have my first fight, and that was just, everything was perfect.
Well, one of your teammates actually messaged me the other day when I was trying to contact you, and he was like, yeah, she's already back in the gym and training already. Like, you didn't even take a break.
Oh no, it's always like that for me. I can't keep myself out of the gym. Every single fight I've been back in the gym the next Monday after. It's what I love to do, so I can't keep myself away.
It's got to be so exciting. You're so young, 22 years old. You were the youngest fighter on the entire season. So going into it, did you kind of feel like a big underdog because of your age?
I did at first, but after being able to train with some of the other girls and seeing what I was up against, I definitely felt a lot more confident. I felt like I could hang with them a little bit more, and I felt like I did belong there. I feel like I do belong with the highest level of the girls there.
So let's rewind the tapes a little bit. I mean, Ultimate Fighter Season 26 was such a big season. They're opening up this weight division. First off, how did you hear about it? Did somebody recommend you going to try out?
It was actually one of my friends. He sent me the link that said that they were trying out for the 125 division, and the second I saw it, it was like I already bought my ticket to Vegas. I was ready to go. I just bought a one-way ticket and one day in a hotel room and just hoped for the best, and they ended up keeping me for the week there and then ended up bringing me in for the show, and it's still all surreal to me.
It's gotta be. I mean, 26 seasons later, they're still doing it, and I got to ask, how was Justin's coaching? I mean, it kind of seemed like a lot of people really favored Justin. I mean, were you able to kind of compare the two there?
Justin and all the coaches on his team were absolutely phenomenal. I loved every single person that we got to work with in the team. They're all just good people all around. I feel like those would really be lifelong friendships for me. It's more than just the season. They're just a great group of people, and we got to work with Eddie's coaches too on the last day because all the teams were cool with each other. So we ended up seeing. I got to work with Mark Henry and Eddie and had them hold pads for me, and both of them were great as well. But I feel like we just got really close with Justin and his team. They're just awesome people.
I mean, he's another young fighter. I remember I interviewed him about 2 years ago before anybody really even knew who he was, and he was telling me not all of the best fighters are in the UFC, and he's really proven that since coming over to the UFC. And there was a lot of drama this season with the coaching and all of that. So was Lauren really the bad guy that FS1 really portrayed her to be?
I feel like the FS1 might have portrayed her a little bit more than. I don't know. I didn't have any problem with Lauren. Not one to talk bad about people, and I've never had any issues with her. Same with Eddie, though. I've never had any issues with him, and both of them were always cool with me. So that's how I don't see either one of them as bad people in that way.
I love how it all came full circle after Lauren fought Barb, and then DC's interviewing her and calls her Barb. Were you able to catch that?
Me and Rachel were watching that in the audience, and we absolutely started dying laughing whenever that happened, just because it's the exact situation that Eddie had in the show with her.
It's just too funny. For the time that you were away there, what was your favorite part? What's the one memory that's going to really stick out for the rest of your life that you're going to run back to and be like, I had such a great experience?
Honestly, all the girls and all the coaches is what I miss the most, and being able to see the girls again this weekend, it's I didn't realize how much I missed them until I got to see them again. And it's we were talking about it, it was like adult summer camp. We got to go out there, have fun, and it was a great experience, and we just had an awesome set of girls and an awesome set of coaches to do it with.
So the one loss that you've had in the past is somebody that's actually in the UFC making quite a name for herself. Is this somebody that you have your eyes on? And of course, I'm talking about Cynthia.
It is definitely someone I would love to have a rematch with. I'm always open for any fight, though. Whenever I fought Cynthia, I took it on, I believe it was 8 days notice.
Wow.
So it was very short notice fight. I was just offered to fly to California on that short notice, and it was the biggest fight I've ever been offered before, so I was definitely down to take it then, and I would definitely be 100% down to take it again. I feel like she's still a good matchup for me, and if I had a full camp, it'd be an awesome fight for me.
So now that you won this fight, where are you looking to do? Are you just waiting for the UFC to kind of contact you, or are you going to try to just like lay low, or do you actually do have your eyes set on somebody?
I have my eyes set on the whole 125-pound division. I'll take anyone. I don't care. I'm ready to fight. I don't care who it is. I'm just ready to get back in there. This is what I love to do. So I feel like I only got 2 minutes in the cage this time. I need a full fight, and maybe I need a few more fights to get that full fight still, but
I mean, we can really thank you to start off the momentum of this weekend. I mean, there was back-to-back submissions, arm bars, and you really started it all off. But my question to you is the main event. I mean, who are you kind of rooting for there? I mean, we all love Roxy. She's been a pioneer of the sport forever now, so you can't not love her. But who did you really think was going to win that fight? How did you see that really going?
Of course, Roxy and Nico were both on Team Gagey, so they're both girls that we got to know. And I feel like Nico is probably one of the people I got closest to with on the show, where I feel like going into it, I expected Nico to win that. I knew that she's good everywhere. She has good stand-up, she has good wrestling, she has good ground, and I knew that she'd really presented a challenge to Roxy. But also, Roxy's got just a lot of experience, so that's the thing that I felt like Roxy definitely had over Nico, and it showed in parts of the fight where she was just able to maintain her composure a little bit better.
So another thing here is, of course, the big smile that you had on your face. I mean, what was that moment like? Can you share that experience with us? Like, even before the fight started, you were just cheesing cheek to cheek.
It's just, there's nothing I love to do more than to get into the cage. I feel like it's an unreal experience. Like, you can't describe it to anyone until you go through it. Then it's just, there really is no way to put it into words. And I love every single moment of it, from getting my hand dropped to getting my hand raised. I love every single bit of that.
So everybody that's watching this video cast right now, unfortunately, if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see it, but you can check it out on Gillian's page. You tweeted out, so you said, "I love my job," with a heart. Still can't stop smiling, and everyone's seeing that picture of you. That's definitely something that you should get framed. I got another question about, this entire weekend, because the drama didn't just stop on the last episode of The Ultimate Fighter. Sarge misses weight. Where did you hear this news, and do you think that she deserves a rematch? Because it seemed like Roxy was like, if you didn't make weight, you don't deserve it. You can't be calling yourself the champ. How do you see this?
I was absolutely astonished when I found out that news. It was actually from Nico that at weigh-ins, Nico was laying on the chair, about to step on the scale, just about to go make weight, and she just said to me, she's like, "I'm fighting Roxy," and I could hardly hear her, and she was like, "No, for real, I'm fighting Roxy," and I was like, "What?" Because for Sarge to make weight on the show, she had to do it 3 times in a 6-week period, so it's like, that's a short turnaround for a lot of those weight cuts. I had 100% confidence that she was going to make weight again, and I was absolutely astonished that she didn't. I feel like she is extremely mentally strong, and I feel like she would have even probably pushed through it. She got called by the doctors. It wasn't even like her choice to quit. I mean, she went to the point of even cutting her hair. I mean, how much did the hair weigh? I want to say she got off half a pound with her hair, but it's still, hair weighs nothing, so it's like, it's so hard. I mean, you got to do anything you can. We've seen it before in past seasons of The Ultimate Fighter that some people just break. How does this weight cut? How is this weight cut for you? This weight cut isn't too rough for me. It's definitely a little bit of a struggle. I'm usually walking around 145 right now, so it's a 20-pound cut, but it's not too rough. I can usually diet down to like 133 and then have to sweat the rest, and it's pretty easy for me. And I used to fight 115, so I used to have to make a lot bigger cut. So you also had to fight Barb, which we're all very familiar with, and she kind of disappeared for a little while, and then here she is, season 26, fighting the youngest girl. I mean, I think she was like the number 2 seed, and you were like number 15 seed. So what was that experience like? What did you learn in that fight? It was an absolute honor to share the cage with Barb, and she's definitely another one who has tons of experience, and she's someone who I've looked up to all through my amateur career, so to be able to look across the cage and see her is kind of unreal. But I was 100% ready to go in that fight. I would take that rematch any day still. Any fight, I'm open for it. So I feel like she was a tough matchup for me, and I learned a lot, and I'm only getting better, and I would, like I said, I would take the rematch any day. I feel like it was just an honor to be in there with her, though.
I mean, and 6 weeks isn't that long, but out of most of the fighters, you were definitely like one of the top 3 that really improved the most in our eyes from what we can see from Fox. I mean, it really seemed like Justin helped you gain a little bit more confidence in your striking game. Is that true?
I feel like Justin's mentality is what I feel like it's insane, like how confident he is in his own skill and how confident he is in himself. And I feel like that's something that him and his coaches really helped me build, was confidence in myself and just confidence in my striking and in my game and to believe in myself. And I feel like everything that Justin preaches, you can see it in his fights. Like, he was telling us, he's like, if you catch a punch at 50%, it's not like if you're catching it at 100%, you get the full snap of their punch. He's like, just walk into it, then it won't hurt as much. And it's like, you see in his fights, he's doing that. He's walking forward. He's like, you got to make my heart stop to make me quit fighting. And it's like, that stuff really spoke to me, because whenever you watch his fights against Michael Johnson or Eddie Alvarez, you see that you have to make his heart stop to make him stop fighting. He's just mentally tougher than anyone in the sport.
And of course, the way the season wrapped up, I'm sure that all of you girls were so excited to see the 2 coaches fight. So, what were you thinking going into that fight? Who were you watching it with? Did you stay? Did you have a ticket or anything to watch the finale?
I actually just got home from Vegas, and it was really late at night. So that was actually the only fight on that card I got to watch. So I just got into my own house and was able to watch it. And I was 100% behind Justin, but that was a crazy fight. And they're both warriors. It's like I said, they go at it. They're not scared of anything. So
this season, it really didn't seem like there was any beef between the coaches. So, was there anything that we didn't see that you want to tell us? I mean, for the most part, it really seemed like they would probably hang out after the season was all done.
Yeah, through the whole season, it was like they would make little comments to each other, like just joke around, but it was all in good fun. Like, both of them, I feel like, are very professional. Same with all the girls on the show. Everybody maintained a level of professionalism, and they were cool with each other, and it's our job. It's what we do.
I mean, there was a point in this season where Dana showed up at the house and had another one of those famous epic speeches. Did that really help motivate you and kind of set your eyes on the prize? Because going into that fight, I mean, one of you girls were going to walk out the champion. So how did that help mold your mindset, being in the house for 6 weeks, hearing Dana say that?
Hearing Dana say that and hearing Dana say how much potential the women's division has right now in general was just inspiring, because really the women are taking over in the sport more than anything else right now, and it's insane to see the level that we can achieve and that we are getting to. And like, just to see a woman like Ronda Rousey make so much money in the sport, that just shows the potential that we could have. So
moving on now, did you get any medical suspensions, or are you good to go? You just need that call.
I'm 100% good to go. I'm ready whenever. I'm just waiting for the call, and then I'll be into fight camp again. I don't stop training, but just the amount of training gets pushed up a little bit more.
So before we end this interview, I got to ask, you train at ATT. Did they give you a warm welcome when you returned to Dean Thomas, joke around with you or anything, welcome you back with warm arms?
Of course, Dean was my only corner going out there, so he was out there the whole time with me, working all week with me, and then as soon as we get back, it's just getting back to work, just getting back to focus, because that's just one person. I still got the rest of the division to go through.
So I want to thank you so much for coming on this show. Before we let you go, though, I got to ask one last thing. How much longer until you're wearing that belt?
Hopefully soon. Like I said, I know I have to work up to it. I know that I lost my fight on the show, so it's like I got to build back up. I got to climb that ladder, and I'm willing to go through everybody to get to it, but it'll be mine, and I know for a fact when I have it that it's not going to be leaving me.
Well, you definitely gained a lot of experience, and we all enjoyed watching you on the season Ultimate Fighter, so we wish you well. Before we let you go, we always do this. We hand the microphone over to you. If you have any shout-outs, anything at all that you want to say, the floor is all yours now.
I just want to say, follow me on Instagram at savage_EJJ, and thank you to all my coaches and all my teammates who helped get me this win and everything, and I'm just so thankful for everybody and the UFC for giving me this opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you best of skill in your future.
All right, thank you so much.